on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Front Row Access Podcast. I am your host, Steven Russo.
I'm Anthony Gonzalez.
Let's fucking go! So, guys, my finals are finally done, thank God. Praise the
About time.
Lord and pass the ammunition. I have been doing this shit for the past 2 fucking weeks, and I'm finally done. So, expect a little bit more content. We might even do a little video or two
Oh,
during
why
the
not?
summer instead of just one podcast every 2 weeks, it seems. So, so sorry guys for the lack of content lately. It's just college sucks. That we're just gonna leave it at that. Now, in our last bout, we talked about UFC 301 and how rather unexcited we were for it, right?
Yeah, overall it seemed kind of mid. Sure, you had Jose Aldo, but I mean, dude's been out of the game for a while, probably past his prime, and we like the flyweight, we like Pantoja and them. It's just wasn't that exciting a card. What was he fighting 10?
Yeah, he's fighting number 10.
Yeah.
But God, were we fucking wrong?
Yeah, they were like, wait, what? Counting us
UFC.
out? No.
Yeah. It was wild. UFC 301 actually ended up being a very good fucking pay-per-view after all. The fights were exciting. Yeah, sure, the name value wasn't really there, but there were finishes, there were exciting fights, there were some crazy moments, and the main event went absolutely fucking wild. We'll get back into that later, but Steve Erceg, for being number 10, did a pretty fucking good job against Pantoja. I said it, guys. He's not that bad. But shit, here we are. And we're just going to go over all of it today because we really don't have any other content ideas, if I'm being completely and totally honest with you guys. So, with the very limited time that I had to draft up this episode and the very limited time that both Anthony and myself have, this was the best we got. Okay, we did it. We got it to work. So, it wasn't as mid as we thought. Lots of exciting fights, lots of finishes. Main card was solid, but first, before the main card started, we had quite a very unique finish to the featured prelim that we didn't really mention on our TikTok page. So, Joe Anderson Brito versus Jack Shore was the featured prelim of the night, right? I think we both called for Joe Anderson Brito to win the fight, but we wouldn't have expected him to win it this way. So, we TKOs him. But the TKO wasn't like, oh, I punched you in the face and now I just gave you a couple follow-up shots and the ref called the fight. No. It was a doctor stoppage.
Yep.
And that doctor stoppage was because there was a nasty fucking cut on Jack Shore's shin that after he checked a leg kick, or probably after he checked a leg kick or two, it was nasty. The doctor's finger went into his leg. It was pretty gnarly, bro.
Just decided to leave a nice hole right there.
Yep, so, he put his little finger right there, probably tickled the bone a little bit,
Like, yeah, this is definitely an injury. Probably can't have you fight.
And probably can't have you fight, so they called the fight. And Brito got the TKO victory, but he was in control that whole fight, though. Let's be honest, he was schooling him. And those leg kicks were landing like nobody's business, and he overall just looked better on the feet, and Brito's got some potential with them. It was a good stoppage because it was an absolutely nasty cut on Jack Shore's leg. I mean, obviously the fighter in him wanted to keep going. I understand that, but
There was a hole in the leg.
there was a hole in your fucking leg, dog. Just accept defeat at that point. You'll come back stronger. So yeah, obviously a speedy recovery to Jack Shore and a congratulations to Joe Anderson Brito. But it was kind of expected based on how the fight was going and how it was leading up to it. This just seemed like it was bound to be Joe Anderson Brito. But before we go any further, Pepsi hit us up. We got your product here today. Anthony just took a sip from the Baja Blast. And I'm going to be drinking this Code Red. And, I will market your product perfectly. Go hit us up on our email address, frontrowaccess15@gmail.com. Come on, Pepsi. You know you want to. What was that, studio audience? Yeah, we already do it for free. So fucking pay us
Think
now.
about how much better we'd be doing it with more motivation.
Exactly. So, if we did it with more, motivation and money, because we need money, please.
Yeah, I think the only thing that Pepsi and money won't have me do is diss Kendrick Lamar. I don't think it's worth that. No.
As we have recently learned, fucking with Kendrick Lamar is just about as bad as fucking with Eminem. All right, it's pretty fucking bad.
I know Eminem knows when to call like stopping things and cooling shit off. I don't think
Kendrick
Kendrick
does not.
does.
Kendrick just keeps fucking going. But anyway, that might be an episode for another day. But we're gonna get back to the fights now. So the main card comes around 10 p.m. Right? Yeah, we're sitting in the Buffalo Wild Wings
Hell
watching
yeah.
this one, right? We eating some wings. We drinking on that Mountain Dew Legend, that succulent, very nectar of the god esque beverage that is Mountain Dew Legend.
Yeah, it's not just here. We drink your products.
We even drink your
I
products
think didn't we
at
finish
restaurants.
them? Yeah, we finished all their pitchers
Yeah,
there.
my local Buffalo Wild Wings, man. Me, and a couple of members of our studio audience, and Anthony and myself, we all fucking destroyed the Mountain Dew Legend stock of that Buffalo Wild Wings. I apologize in advance to the Buffalo Wild Wings in Warwick, Rhode Island. You know, it fuck. We just came for the legend, bro. We wanted it so bad. But it's a fucking. I don't know what they put in that shit, man. What would they be putting in that shit?
Crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine. Yeah, probably crack cocaine. That shit tastes like ginger ale and Voltage just made a love child, and then that was the product, and like it was amazing. But anyway, at the main card we have Baraglio. I'm always gonna fail pronouncing his name right. Baraglio. He knocked the fuck out of Paul Craig. Oh my god, bro! I thought Paul Craig was gonna put on a better fight than that, man. He looked like shit.
Well, it's the thing is, it's because we all know, like these fighters, they're in it to win it, and Paul Craig definitely was trying
To win.
his hardest.
He was just failing
It's
brutally.
just yeah, he wasn't. He was not trying enough. He didn't put enough in.
To really get that victory, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, the ugly neck tap prevailed as predicted by yours truly. So, it just Kaio was just on point that whole fucking fight. He just was so much. He looked so much better than Paul Craig did. I mean, Paul Craig had some moments. He stung him a couple times on the feet, but he failed to get takedowns. He failed to insert jujitsu, seeming as that's his fucking strong suit. He failed to ensue any jujitsu on the ground. Baraglio's fucking takedown defense was on point, and plus he's got some fucking smoke in those hands. So, he just poured it on him, and eventually Paul Craig's chin just couldn't, his defense
Yeah.
just abandoned him, man. He did not move his head at all. He stayed on the center line. He just didn't do anything to really get out of the way. He just ate the shit and kept going, and much like me, for real.
not
And
not the strongest defensive planning.
nope. It's all right, though. Paul Craig, I'm sure you'll be back, and I'm sure you'll probably smoke somebody. So, but congratulations to Kaio. Got a win in his hometown. So it was very good. I think top 15. Actually, no, not top 15. Top 10 next for
Yeah.
Kaio, I would think. Yeah, I'm always going to want to say it. But let's give him Stephen Thompson. Fuck it. Let's just see what happens. I love Stephen Thompson. Let's fucking see what happens. Put him in there with him. I mean, I think Stephen Thompson's at like number 8, so he's definitely higher ranked. Yeah, fuck it, man. And I don't think Kaio is much of a grappler, or at least he didn't show his grappling in that one because he thought it was very much inferior to Paul Craig, which fair. Which fair. I don't want to fucking play on the ground with that guy. Fuck that. I'm gonna get woven into some web of traps and then get a leg snatched, arm snatched, get my neck all sorts of bent in different directions. Yeah, nah. All set. Not playing jujitsu with Paul Craig.
He gets the pass on the jiu-jitsu battle.
Yeah, I will pass on the jiu-jitsu battle with Paul Craig. I will get twisted up like a goddamn pretzel. Anyway, sorry, had to get that sip in. Next fight was nothing less than fucking exciting. This fight only lasted, get this guys, 54 seconds. But it was the fucking best 54 seconds of this entire friggin' pay-per-view. Michelle Barrera submits ER Potieria in round 1 via guillotine choke. We had some fucking gilly goose out, some gilly geese out, Gilly Goose Gang won in round 1, 54 seconds in. And Michelle Pereira, man.
It was beautifully done.
It was beautifully done. I mean, the dude was owning him on the feet. He knocked him down with a punch. And then Potieri was trying to fuck him up with the guard. He had his legs of doom up in the air, just swinging him around, trying to get him to go into his guard. You know what Michel Pereira decided to do? He said, fuck all that guard pass shit that you do in jiu-jitsu class. Let me backflip over this motherfucker. And then I'm just going to end up on the other side. Want to talk about passing guard? That's passing guard. So, I mean, dude.
I don't think they had that in their contract. Like, alright, so I have my guards up. What's he going to do then? He's either going to enter the guard or let me get on my feet. Wait, backflip? What?
No, actually, option C, backflip.
What?
Wait, what?
That wasn't an option.
So he fucking backflips over the guard. Fucking his knee landed on his shoulder, thankfully, but it was dangerously close to his head. And for those of y'all that don't know, kneeing your opponent in the head while they're grounded is a big no-no. That's illegal in UFC rules.
And a backflip knee counts as a knee too.
And a backflip knee is gonna count as a knee. So he's pretty fucking lucky that the knee landed on the shoulder and not the head. I hope that he is a little bit more careful with his backflipping nature in the future.
I mean, that wasn't an option until that night.
Exactly. Dude just said, flipped right over the dude. It was fucking crazy. So after he did that, man, obviously, Potieri is like, what the fuck did this dude just do? I'm getting back to my feet. Fuck this. As he's getting back to his feet, Michel Pereira gizzies you out by the neck, and of course, the Gilly Geese Gang won. The Gilly Goose Gang won that one. So, 54 seconds into round one, the craziest 54 seconds of my entire life, ends via guillotine by Michel Pereira. Almost got overturned by the commission because the commission had to watch the replay to make sure the knee didn't hit him in the fucking head as he, backflipped over the card. So, I mean, it turns out they looked at it, hit him in the shoulder, so that guillotine was completely 100% okay. And, that was just a fucking crazy fight. And actually, Michel Pereira got offered to fight Roman Dolidze on June 8th after this victory, seeming as he didn't take much damage at all. But unfortunately, Michel Pereira did turn down that fight since he doesn't want to fight somebody that he's trained with, which, okay, fair. I guess, fair. So, unfortunately, I do not know what's next for Michel Pereira, but I think he should get a ranked opponent next at least.
Yeah.
Like, top 15. Like, after a performance like that, you could even give him top 10, honestly. So, I think, but a very good thing, I mean, Roman Dolidze, he's number 15 in the middleweight division. So, yeah, that actually could have happened. So, unfortunately, but he did not want to fight his teammates. So that's okay. So maybe he'll get somebody else that he doesn't train with. But the Gilly Geese Gang did not stop there though. This next fight happens, right? We have Anthony Smith submitting Vitor Petrino, becoming the one that put the 1 in 11-1. Anthony Lionheart Smith with a Gilly in fucking round 1, 2 minutes in. So, the Gilly Goose Gang prevailed once more. And Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
I was gonna say, you're gonna say it anyways. Get it out there.
Yep, Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Very, very happy with the Gilly Geese that were out that night. Our leader of the Gilly Goose Gang.
Don't be silly.
Pop the Gilly! So, round 1, 2 minutes into the fight, Anthony Smith guillotine chokes Vitor Petrino, handing him his first ever defeat in his professional MMA career. Pretty fucking crazy.
I am not a journeyman. I am here to compete.
So honestly, I think the best thing that you can reward him with after a finish like that was give him a higher ranked opponent next.
Oh yeah.
Like, let's see, Anthony Smith stands at rank number 10 in the light heavyweight division. So looking at the rest of the top 10, you have Volkan Oezdemir in there at number 9. I don't really know where he's at or if he has anything booked. He could have something booked. I'm not sure yet. There's Nikita Krylov in there at number 6, which is scary. Very, very scary. But fuck it. Anthony Smith might be able to do it.
Hey, he's hungry. I tell you, I like these fighters when they're hungry.
And
they do more. They want more. They earn more. They try more. And that's the upset victories. That's Edwards Usman. That's the
Strickland Izzy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Strickland Izzy, but Izzy didn't look right there.
And I just think that was Sean's night, man. Fuck it, man. That was just Sean's night. It was written in the stars, I guess. Last minute, fucking walks in there, becomes middleweight champion. against every odd, quite literally. But we also have Rakic hanging in at number 5, which is an even scarier fight.
Yeah. Scary.
Rakic nearly put Yuri Prohaska out. That's the former champion of the division. So, of course, Yuri Prohaska went and did some Yuri Prohaska things and ended up getting the win against Alexander Rakic. But I'm telling you, man, Rakic nearly fucking rock and sock him, the fucking former champion of
Yeah,
that
we got
division.
scary people doing scary things there.
So I don't know. I think the Uzdemir fight is probably his best bet. Assuming Uzdemir doesn't have something going on. I mean, he could go against Krylov, man, but that would just be very, very not favorable to Anthony Smith. But fuck it, man. He just defeated an undefeated kid who was hungry as shit. So, I mean, who the fuck knows? So, Vitor Petrino, though. I gotta talk about that takedown that he tried to get when there was a fucking guillotine choke locked on him. And he still decided to drive through on the takedown. I'm like, bro, bail on the takedown, man. When the gilly's in, if you take the dude down, you're gonna get into a deeper fucking gilly. Alright, and that's exactly what happened. So, I mean, and then let's talk about Buffer announcing the wrong fucking name after that fight, and still undefeated Vitor. And he said, "Excuse me, Anthony Lionheart Smith." I'm like, it's very rare that Bruce Buffer ever fucks up an announcement like
wonder if
that.
he put money on that.
He might have put money on Vitor Petrino. Let's open that gate up real quick. Let's open up an investigation. Nah, man. Anthony Smith was like, huh? He didn't win the
I
fight.
think I won that Buffer. Oh, like shit, you're right.
He said, shit. But that was kind of funny. Very rarely do you see Bruce Buffer fuck up like that. So when he fucked up against Anthony Lionheart Smith there, that was kind of funny.
He's a pro of pros.
It's just funny.
Did you appreciate Buffer suit?
I always appreciate Buffer suits. I don't know who Bruce Buffer's fucking stylist is, but bro, every single fucking suit he wears slaps, and I'm like, bro, where are you getting this shit? And most of all, how much are you paying for it? Probably out the ass.
Well, maybe they pay him to wear it. Marketing.
You never know. I mean, he is iconic enough at this point. So, I mean, it's just shit, man. I want to know where he gets his suits from. Bruce Buffer, let us know.
He would also very much like to know what you do with the suits after you're done wearing them, because you never wear the same suit twice.
You never ever wear the same suit twice, so I'd like to know where all the old ones go, because I would want one or two of them.
For personal reasons.
For personal reasons, obviously. Big suit guy. You know, I like suits.
You know, the next thing that we're gonna get in the email is gonna be a restraining order, right?
Fuck. Shit. Well, there goes that. Anyway, so let's talk about this though. Jose Aldo comes back, right? King of Rio returns to Rio. And fucking fucks! I'm like, Jesus! I'm like, what the fuck? This dude's 37 years old. He has been fighting for fuck all years. God knows how fucking long. Hadn't lost a fight in 10 years until fucking McGregor showed up. And then this dude was featherweight champion, goes down to bantamweight in the latter stages of his fucking career, and has success there, fights for the title there. I mean, granted, he lost to Piotr Jan, but you lost to Piotr Jan, man. That's okay. That's just a not very favorite. You put a good boxer against a good boxer. I mean, the best boxer's gonna win. And, Piotr Jan was the best boxer that night. And then, but fuck, man. Jose Aldo coming back after his faux retirement of about 2 years, right? Inducted in the Hall of Fame last year, obviously. I mean, all credit deserved to Jose Aldo for that.
Oh, of course.
But, a Hall of Famer comes back, home fucking country, in front of his people, right? Wins a dominant decision over Jonathan Martinez, this young, up-and-coming bantamweight in the division, who I personally thought was not a very good matchup for Jose Aldo. I have never been so happy to be wrong in my entire life than I was at that moment. Just Jose Aldo goes in there and just did what Jose Aldo does best. Stuffed takedowns, nailed some calf kicks, and crispy ass fucking boxing and fast hands. I'm like, this is Jose Aldo. I'm like, this is him. He's 37 years old and he's still this fast. I'm like, how in the fuck are you doing this? What the hell is in the water in Brazil? I'm like, every single person that comes out of this damn nation's a killer. I'm like, what is in the water? It's got to be something. Or maybe they just really juiced up those fucking chicken nuggets. I don't know.
Well, I mean, anytime those guys get knocked down, they're always getting yelled at.
It's true. I mean, I was like, eh. Like, everybody that comes out of Brazil, I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna be a very good fighter, very good fighter. And then usually, I'm right.
And you know what they say, pressure makes diamonds.
Tee. Oh, Newark, New Jersey, June 1. We'll have to make that podcast early, seeming as we're gonna be there. June 1st, see Poirier get brutally destroyed by Islam Makhachev. One can hope.
Come on, we got this.
Come on, Dustin. Damn it, finish the story. Finish the actual story. Like, I mean, I'm wearing a WrestleMania shirt. One story got finished. Let's finish the other one. God damn it. Anyway, though, Jose Aldo went absolutely crazy in that fight. I was tremendously impressed by it, but fucking, what was I gonna expect? It's Jose fucking Aldo.
I was gonna say, the dude's been fighting at top tier for
Years.
the longest time
Years.
of his life. He's,
Like,
honestly, it kind of, I know he was gone for
about
a couple
2 years, yeah.
but when you fight at that level for as long as he did, it might just, honestly, in hindsight, it feels like the other guy might have been fed to him. Not discrediting the other guy. He was fucking great, too.
I mean, he showed up. That, you wouldn't be able to pay me enough to go to a Jose Aldo fight.
There were times that where I was worried because I had Aldo for this because I figure former champion, yeah, he might have been away for a bit, but the dude knows fighting, you know.
Exactly.
But there were times when I was scared too, honestly. So
I mean, yeah. The dude showed up. I mean, I wouldn't have signed on that dotted line. I don't give a shit if he's 37, bro. That's still Jose fucking Aldo. I'm all set. He could be a 60, 70-year-old man. And I'm not stepping in the cage with him. Nuh-uh. And it can't make me. And just, you know.
dude might have been thinking he could have channeled his regard, just like, all right, I'll just practice this one move.
This one move.
One move.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Then Aldo's in the ring against him. He's like,
I'm dead. I'm just gonna accept my death. I'm making peace with Jesus Christ, and I'm gonna go to heaven because I'm gonna die at the hands of Jose Aldo.
so it's picture just like, why did I agree with this? Why did I agree with this? Why did I agree with this?
You couldn't have paid me enough to sign on that dotted line. So shout out to Jonathan Martinez for showing up that night and actually wanting to fight Jose Aldo because I would nope.
You're the same guy who would take a punch from these guys just to say you did.
Oh yeah, I totally would,
You
but I wouldn't want to
take
be
a
in a
fight?
fight with him. I wouldn't want to be in a fight with him. I'll take a punch from him. I'll take a calf kick or two, but like not. I don't want to get in a fight with him, man. No, that's just. I'm okay if it's like one good shot and it's just damage that just I can heal from, right? But when it's that damage times 50, then I'm no. I'm all set. Thank you. Next. I gotta get my ass back in the gym. I gotta train. But anyway. Jose Aldo went crazy. He's still fast. He still got it. He won every round in style. I mean, he got clipped a couple of times, but those clips were nothing compared to what Aldo was doing. He was just pouring it on him, peppering him left and fucking right. You know, it was absolutely insane the way he was doing it. I was super impressed by him. Like, this is just fucking Jose Aldo, man. Welcome back to the game. But Anthony, does he stay? Is the question.
Well, we didn't mention leaving, and I see our. I'll probably catch some flack for this, but I might not see a title run from him just because of how the game's changed. I'm not saying he won't want to have that shot, but he's been in for a long time. There's plenty of fighters who idolize him, and if you're in that division, guess who you've probably studied up a bit on?
Jose Aldo.
So, while I don't see him, going to championship level, not because he can't go there, but because a lot of people know of him, knows how he fight. And I'll probably, especially now after what we saw, preparing for that.
Oh yeah.
I do see him making waves and making his way up Probably top 5.
Think he'll make top 5 again. I mean, he could very much skip the line and go right to O'Malley right now. Honestly, he could. He's a big enough name. He's gonna sell the pay-per-view, and it's Sean O'Malley versus Jose Aldo. I mean, to think that that sentence just came out of my fucking mouth. Oh my god.
I'm fucking picturing the tagline just like the second coming of Greggy versus Aldo redemption.
Honestly, that'd just be the title of that pay-per-view. But like, I mean, Sean O'Malley said it himself, man. He said he's open to it, but I think he wants to fight Marab first. But after he fights Marab, I think he said he's open to fighting Aldo for the championship. So I mean,
Wasn't Rob the last fight Aldo did before?
yeah, Marab was the last opponent before Aldo retired. But to be honest, all Marab really did that whole fight was just kind of fail to take him down. Jose Aldo's takedown defense is absolutely fucking incredible. Like, it's some of the best I've ever seen.
Wish we looked up the percentage for that right now.
But like, it's some of the best I've ever seen takedown defense out of Jose Aldo. Like, the dude barely gets taken down. But unfortunately, if you're the advancing party attempting to take down the person defending, defense doesn't win you points in MMA. Unfortunately,
Advancing, it doesn't matter the attempt line, just advancing. All right, we like that. That gets
like the
points.
clinch control, the hanging onto the legs but failing to do the takedown still looks like you're the one that's in control of the fight. Despite Jose Aldo, stuffing every single takedown you did, hanging with you in the clinch and not really letting you up. But like, unfortunately, like I said, man, defense doesn't win you championships in MMA, like it can in many other sports.
Yeah, if it was foot stomping, I mean, that could get you some champions.
There we go. We hit up Kamaru Usman real quick. Hey, yo, Usman, we got a new sport for you. Foot stomping. Dude, he'd be the undisputed world champion of that shit.
Yep.
And he'd reign for a while. Where the fuck is Usman gonna go now, though?
I was actually
Oh,
wondering
God.
that myself, too.
I mean, dude took the L to Hamzat, but like unconvincingly took the L to
Yeah.
Hamzat. I mean, Hamzat didn't destroy him. I mean, he destroyed him in the first round. Don't get me wrong. Taken down for just the second time in his career was fucking Hamzat Chimaev in the first round. I'm telling you, man, Hamzat Chimaev in the first round is fucking scary. That's the most dangerous fighter on the planet. Just that motherfucker in round 1, most dangerous fighter on the planet. Any time that there's been a round 1 and Hamzat Chimaev's involved, either somebody got finished or it was not a good round for the opponent. Like, I mean, look at Kevin Holland. He was defending pretty well until he wasn't, and then when he wasn't, it just didn't, it didn't go over well. And then, so, but then once he gets to the second and the third round, then it starts to get a little bit easier to fight Hamzat Chimaev because, I mean, dude just goes balls to the wall, blows his whole fucking load in the first round like a total loser. No diddy. Anyway, but like, dude, if you can survive round 1 against Chimaev, your likelihood of winning the fight just went up by
Goes up exponentially.
by like 50%.
He has calculus pages about it.
Anthony, why did you have to remind me of the fucking torture that I had to put myself through?
Because there's graffiti in our podcast book that is named calculus.
There really is, man.
Took up 9 pages. That's like, this is 2.5. That's like 4 different podcast notes we could have gotten there.
All calculus. Me studying and me doing the workout for my intro calc exam that I passed. I did it. I passed it. But it's just fucking wild. Man, I hope that's the last fucking math class I have to take for my major. I'm being completely honest. I'm a marketing major. I had to take an intro calc class. Okay, this shit sucked.
You know where marketing could come in handy?
I'm just saying. It's damn near refreshing. That doesn't get Pepsi's fucking inbox, man. I don't know what will. Anyway, so, Aldo, man, what a legend. I mean,
actually, rewind it. Want to get back to the start of where that just came from. So, I see Usman right now.
Oh yeah, Usman.
In the same type of situation as Holloway, whereas Holloway had more success when he went up to fight Gaethje.
Naturally.
Usman definitely showed merit short notice and taking the fight.
And a new weight class. I mean, Kamaru Usman didn't look all that different at 185 than he did at 170. So I mean, he was already a big welterweight. He was cutting mad weight to get down to welterweight when he was champion. So like, I don't know what's next for him, man. I mean, obviously Hamzat's already got a fight post Usman. He's going against Robert Whitaker, which that's a crazy fight to be honest with you. But I think Robert Whitaker's got a pretty good chance of possibly being the one to put the one in 14-1. So I mean, you don't know. You don't know until you know. But like on paper, that's a pretty good fight, and it's for free the week before McGregor comes back. Dude, June is stacked. June is stacked.
I got Whitaker for that.
I think I do too, but that we'll go into more detail with that.
At the time.
Obviously, we're gonna make a whole separate podcast on that fight night alone because they're stacking the fuck out that Saudi Arabia card. So yeah, that's so crazy. They're gonna be going from New Jersey to Kentucky to Saudi to Vegas in 4 weeks. I'm like, damn, UFC going crazy. But it's gonna be a good card, and I can't wait to see that. But Usman, ever since making his debut at middleweight and actually hanging in there with Hamzat Chimaev, I mean, arguably winning the second and third round. I mean, obviously, it did not get scored in Usman's favor, which I can understand why. But I can also understand why would have scored it for Usman as well. It was a super close fight after round one. And I can almost tell you with 100% certainty that Kamaru Usman won round three. Like 100% he won round three. But if that fight was 5 rounds, Usman would have beat him.
Now, you might be able to tell me that way absolutely convincingly enough, but what about Mike Bell? Could you convince him?
Mike Bell. Tell me how that was a 10-8. I love Alexa Grasso, man. But tell me how that was a 10-8 in the 5th round.
I'm sorry, we're just going to continue hating on Mike Bell.
What the fuck?
As long as it's funny to us.
Yeah, God damn it. Yeah, but I don't know what Usman does after this, man. I mean, we can get an Usman and Strickland rematch. That'd be kind of funny. But, because little do you guys know, Sean Strickland used to be a welterweight way back when, and he did not do as good at welterweight as he did at middleweight. But obviously he became champion at middleweight. But at 170, Strickland actually faced Usman. Usman won, obviously, but like that was also 7 years ago, 8 years, 6 years ago. So Sean Strickland has become a champion since then. So has an Usman. I'd like to see that fight, but obviously Strickland's got his hands full with Paulo Costa right now, which we'll be there for that fight. That's gonna be a good fight. And honestly, man, I don't know. That's a closer fight than you may think. I mean, early favorite, I'd say Strickland, but Paulo Costa, man, you just can't deny that dude. Yeah, he's got the smoke. Like,
Not the secret juice.
He's got the secret juice, man.
That too?
He's got the secret juice. Like, I don't know what it is, but early favorite, obviously Strickland. But can Strickland's defense handle the pressure, the size, and the aggression of Paulo Costa? We'll never know until it happens. Of course, we'll go into more depth with that when we make that podcast. But that's just an early little glimpsey do in there. But man, I don't know. Usman at middleweight, it's exciting. I just so many cool matchups he can do there. Like you can put him against Marvin Vettori. We haven't seen him in a little while. I haven't seen him against Jared Cannonier. If you want to go further down, maybe not give him a top 5 right away, which I don't understand why you wouldn't give him a top 5 right away. Dude's a former champion.
Because he's coming off a loss.
That's true. But an unconvincing loss. Like,
yeah, I mean, honestly, I would definitely say that it's an unconvincing one. But to other people, it was
it's still
very convincing.
You're only as good as your last fight, you know? So, I don't know what's next for Usman at middleweight. I mean, there's not much for him to do at welterweight anymore. He kind of kind of cleaned everything up there, except for Leon Edwards. So I mean, and Leon Edwards was just the guy that got his number. He was the Volkanovski to his Holloway, like you know.
I mean, once again, when you phrase it like that, Volk has always won against Holloway. Usman, how many times did him and Edwards go at it?
3. Usman beat him once.
So,
So, I mean, that's true. Now that I think about it. Because the second fight, yeah, Leon kicked his head in the last minute of
yeah.
the fucking fight and became champion. And then successfully defended it convincingly
Yes.
in March. So, I don't know, man. I don't think there's anything left for Usman to do at welterweight. I'm trying to think of who we could put him against as far as the middleweight's concerned. I mean, Jared Cannonier's available. Haven't seen him in a minute. Why not give him that? You could give him. Yeah, I'm just saying. I think I'd. Usman, man, he's just in a tough point in his career. I don't want to see the Strickland rematch, though. I think that's the fight that I'll most be rooting for. I want to see that happen. I think that'd be a fun fight to watch now. But fuck, man, Strickland's got to get through Costa first. And when and if he does that, then we'll know. But we have veered very far away from UFC 301.
It's fine. This whole thing. It's reviewing it.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking future stuff too. I mean, it's not like these people who are still listening to us right now don't want to hear our thoughts on it. You know.
That's true. That's true. And we're just trying to educate you on the fighters, bro. We're trying to tell you what we think.
Anyways, rolling it back
to UFC 301, Alessandro Pantoja wins a very close decision over Steve Erceg. Guys, number 10 put on a fucking good performance against the champion. I was not expecting that out of Steve Erceg at all. I mean, I told you guys on the 301 podcast that he's good, but I just didn't know, like, I thought he would do okay, but I didn't think he'd do that okay. Like, I thought he'd be all right. I thought he'd survive a couple rounds, get a couple good moments in there. Nah, this dude won 2 rounds. And clearly, on my card, I mean, there's some people out there that's saying that Erceg got robbed. I don't think he got robbed. I think that was a good decision. I think Pantoja did retain his title. So one elbow does not beat control time and outstruck for 3 out of 5 rounds. And Pantoja just got the edge on him with the strikes and the control time, and that's what got him the victory. And man, with the performance that Erceg had against Pantoja with relatively not much notice, I think we found out the UFC 301 main event like a week or 2 weeks before UFC 300. So or UFC 290. Fuck. When did we find that out? Fuck. When did that fight get announced? I can't remember. Regardless, it wasn't much time. And Erceg was number 10. Obviously, the rest of the flyweight division was either hurt, coming off a loss, faced Pantoja recently, or, that's just other circumstances, which is crazy. The stars basically aligned for Steve Erceg to get this a rather undeserved title shot. I mean, coming off a pretty emphatic win, don't get me wrong. He did come off a very good knockout, but, not to discredit Steve Erceg or anything, but
I was gonna say it was more than like the stars aligning and undeserved. A golden opportunity.
yeah, just like ultimate opportunity for Steve Erceg to just show what he was all about, to show people what he did in that Australian regional scene, and I think people got a good glimpse of what he's like now. A lot of people ended up actually rooting for Erceg during that fight, which was kind of fun. I mean, I liked seeing that because, obviously, I went into that shit thinking about Pantoja's just gonna fucking
steamroll.
gonna find a way to smoke this dude within 3 rounds, right? I mean, of course I told you guys that Erceg might have a couple of good moments and then he'd be able to hang in there, but in that this wouldn't be his first title opportunity. But now, after a performance like that, I think Steve Erceg's only really one win away from getting back to the title picture after that. I mean, especially with the rest of the division being on halt right now, with all the injuries and all the injuries and all the beatings that Pantoja put on people.
Now, while he did look really, really good, better than I thought he would, I gotta say at least 2 away, and I only think that because I think, as I said, this was definitely a golden opportunity for him. I do believe that the people before the top 5, 6 through 9, are gonna want a shot at him, and then he's gonna have to take on one of the top 5 before he gets back into title contention. But he looked great. I'm not discrediting him. I just know that those people have also been working the division for a while, and it's kind of like skipping in lunch
Kind of
money,
skipping the line a little bit. But I mean, at this point, man, I mean, he got the attention of Kai Kara France with that performance. I think Kai Kara France has even said that he DM'd him, "Yo, you should be proud of that performance." And then he said, "I want to fight you," right, at the Australia card in August. So, I mean, that fight could happen, and I'd love to see that fight. Urseg and fucking Kai Kara France will tear the roof off the place. I feel as though that would be a very good little fight that I didn't even think would happen at this point in Urseg's career. Obviously, 6 through 9 is gonna want to get a crack at him, but at the same time, some of them aren't gonna be back for a bit. One of them's out with a neck injury. One of them's out with some kind of hip surgery, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, I don't know. It's um it's kind of up in the air, and that fight gets confirmed, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad at all. And then I think if Ursig can beat Cara France, a former title challenger or interim title challenger, but I'll still count it, then I'll give it to him. If he wins, then I'd want to rocket him right back into title contention, unless like something bad happens with like the champ, and the champ has to sit out for a bit, or somebody from 6 through 9 calls him out up top there after, if and when he beats Cara France. He still has to get through Cara France. So I mean, if he gets through Cara France and somebody ranked number 6 through 9 says, "Hey yo, motherfucker, you dodged me. Let me fight you," and then if he comes up, whoever it may be, comes up, he fights them, then easily Ursay could walk right back into a title shot. And but I'm hoping that Cara France fight gets confirmed. I think that'd be nice for the August card in Australia. I think that's when we might. I mean, obviously, I'm putting on my tinfoil hat here. I have no sources at all, but I think that's when Izzy's gonna come back. If I'm honest, or that might even be when Volk comes back. So I mean, I got my little tinfoil hat on. Obviously, I don't know what the plan is, but I have no sources telling me that either Volk or Izzy is gonna be on the August card in Australia. But I'm thinking maybe, because then it'll be enough time away. Obviously, Volk's gonna want to get off the couch sooner than Izzy will. So I mean, Volk, we haven't really heard much out of him since the Topuria loss. Uh, it hurts my soul. I can't believe I'm saying that the former featherweight champion, man. We
I
got
told you I had a bad feeling.
You did. I don't know how you the fucking Deja Vu out here. I don't know how you did it, man.
I don't
Yeah.
like when it happens. When it happens, I can trust it.
Fuck, man. Volk was winning that round too. He won that. He was winning that fight convincingly. He just got fucking smoked. It was so bad. He was keeping him away with a jab, but Topuria got in there, man.
I want to see more from Temporier too. I don't know what he's got going on, but I'm anxious for it.
I think Topuria's direction is. I honestly think the fight that should be made, not what will be made, because I don't know when Volk's planning to come back. But I just spoiled it. I think Topuria needs to give Volk a rematch. Like that was the dude that held down the division for half a decade, and then he was winning the fight convincingly, and that's an easy argument that he can make. He was winning that fight, and he was keeping him at bay with the jab. Topuria couldn't get the takedowns. He couldn't get in to land the punch, but eventually one little slip in the defense and one got through, and we all knew Topuria had a puncher's chance going in there, and then he landed that punch. That's just what happened. And then Volk went to sleep, and now we haven't really heard much out of him since then.
Now, I get where you're coming from that perspective, but honestly, Volk's been fighting.
Yeah.
He's been fighting a lot.
Mm-hmm.
How many fights in the past year?
Let's see, 2023. I think he fought 3 times in 23. He took the fight against Islam, lost that one, close decision. Then he beat Yair Rodriguez, and then he got beat by Makachev in October. And then he came back in February of 2024 after getting knocked out in October. So I mean, yeah, dude has been an absolute workhorse, that's for sure.
I want him to sit out the next title championship match. I want Temporia to fight. Honestly, I really
I'm gonna send Max back down.
yeah, I really want to see Holloway.
I mean, yeah.
I want him to have his shot again, his belt back. I want to see the fight that didn't happen because they both had different routes. I want to see that fight, and what I hope happens from there is either this is just me, just brainstorming here. If Holloway wins, Volk can come back. We all know who's got whose number there. If Temporia wins, Volk might be able to see something in that match and get his shot back. Or Temporia, he defends, honestly.
You never know. Topuria could beat Max. I'm not saying that like it's an easy win if Max gets up to Topuria. You're right though. That could be a good fight, but I kind of want to see. I want to see Holloway make a shot at instead of chasing his old belt, get a new belt. like, get a new belt.
Does he have an official ranking in that
In
now?
lightweight, I haven't really checked. I can check right now. He probably does. I mean, he just knocked out number 3. He should be in there somewhere. Like, let's see.
I think he won't be it because I think they'll exclude that bracket to the BMF. Well, I would love to see him do that. I'd say shot, win or lose featherweight, then shot, win or lose at
Which one?
Said shot, win or lose at featherweight, then shot at
Lightweight.
lightweight.
Yep.
And I could see. I mean, even if you disregard the BMF, I could see Holloway being a double champ.
He could. You never. I mean, dude's only 32, man.
And if it's not simultaneous, then it could be he doesn't get it over onto Poirier. He goes up, he does better, and he gets it there.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Max Holloway is just an ultimate dark horse for 2 divisions right now. He's a number 1 contender in 2 fucking divisions right now.
I said it before. He's one of those scariest motherfuckers.
We're gonna make when we make that video eventually. The scariest motherfuckers to every scary motherfucker. He's gonna be on there, And I just looked at the lightweight rankings. Max Holloway is number 9 in the lightweight rankings. So I mean, there's a ton of fights he can do. He gets at lightweight, should I say?
Yeah.
I mean, he can go back down and try to get his old belt back 100%.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if he goes down, I think he's right there at title contention.
Easy.
Right there.
Dude's been permanent number 1 contender for how many years?
Like, I don't think he'll ever be. He'll never not be, the number 2 of that. Is that fucked up to say it?
He's not the number 2 though. He's the former champ of that division.
I know, but since Volk's been on the
since Volk's been on the same plane,
I can never not see him being the number 2 of that division. And win or lose there, we're talking that division. He's right there in title contention. This division, though, there's a lot you can do.
There's a lot that you can do, and some matchups that are pretty favorable to Max. I mean, we saw what Max did to Justin Gaethje, man. If he can do that to Justin Gaethje, who's to say he can't do that to Michael Chandler? Who says he can't do that to Charles Oliveira? Honestly. Like, who says he can't do that to Dustin Poirier? I mean, I'm sure Dustin's beaten him twice to this point, but you never fucking know, man. This dude's just on some fucking fuck shit right now.
I mean, now that this is also just going on a tangent. Now that they brought this BMF belt back into service since fucking
Masvidal didn't do shit with it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I could see that being up there for, pay-per-view title. Like, give him Oliveira. Oliveira's coming off a loss. He needs some shit to do.
Yeah, I mean, give him. I mean, he's fought Charles before, but that was like 10 years ago.
And then that.
So, I mean,
that brings into focus if Holloway can take Oliveira, bam, he's there for title contention.
Easy.
If Oliveira can take Holloway, bam, he gets BMF belt, and it looks great. Maybe he goes to contention there. I think he might need another
win.
Just because Holloway's breaking into this division, I think Oliveira needs another fight even after Holloway in order to get to
title contention again.
That's
So,
far.
and you got a good point. It's just like there's a lot of excitement. I want to see Max do more with that BMF belt. I think you have Max Holloway, who's a very active fighter, right? He's a very you can give him a couple like pay-per-view main events or co-main events with the BMF on the line, like you mentioned. And that could sell pay-per-views that can up the prestige of the BMF belt to the point that Max just becomes associated with the BMF belt. Like, just like we associate John Cena with the spinner title. Like you could associate the Max Holloway with the BMF belt. Like, because he's the baddest motherfucker. I mean, there's a ton of good matchups for him here. You can put him against Fiziev. You can put him against Beneil if you wanted to. You can give him Poirier a third time. You can give him Armin, Charles, honestly, Gamrot, Chandler. I think that it's just, there's a lot more for Max to do at lightweight, and I want to see what he does. But, like, I wouldn't be opposed to him going back down to featherweight to try to get his old belt back.
Imagine.
Like,
Just imagine some fucking way, somehow. Now, I liked Holloway. I liked him going into the BMF match. I'm all for Holloway. Imagine, just somehow, he gets the fucking featherweight. He's retaining the BMF, and he gets a shot at fucking lightweight.
in the same year. Like,
and we have a three champ.
A triple champ. Triple C. Yeah, Henry Cejudo, the real Triple C.
With belts associated to it.
Fuck yeah.
Medal.
Not just a medal. It's just there's so many good things that can happen with Max Holloway right now. And plus the kid's only 32 years old. Like, he can keep fucking going.
And while we're very excited for this, I don't want to see him exhaust himself like I think Volk did. Too many fights is too many fights, guys.
Or is he? Is he too?
Is he fucking all the time? But still,
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to see these fighters exhaust themselves. We want to see them at their best, not just to put on a show.
I mean, regardless, I mean, I'm just saying, imagine this reality, right? Dustin Poirier smokes Islam somehow, some way, just smokes Islam, right? And then the Conor and Chandler fight becomes the number one contendership fight for the lightweight title. Say Conor loses to Chandler. You get Poirier Chandler 2 for the title, and then you can have Conor go against Max Holloway again at this point in their career. Or, realistically speaking, Islam beats Poirier, right? Then you can make the McGregor and Chandler fight the number one for the BMF title. And then you can get Max Holloway versus Michael Chandler. Imagine that fight.
As exciting as what you said was with Greggy.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if Greggy will do it. That's the thing.
Active fighters, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Greggy sits out there on the fringe, on the sides of whatever division he wants to start, and fights when Greggy wants to. I don't see like Max waiting for fights like freaking
Chandler
did. You know?
Yeah.
That's a long fucking wait.
2 years of your career where you've already been putting on banger after banger, right? I mean, granted, you don't always win, but banger after banger after banger. It's fun to watch Michael Chandler, man. And then you waited out for 2 years of your career at the age that you are. It's just stupid. At this point, I don't think I love Chandler. I don't want you to think I'm dogging on Chandler. I'm about to dog on Chandler a little bit. Like, I love Michael Chandler. I think he's a great guy. He's an awesome fighter. He seems like a very humble, down-to-earth dude. I genuinely like Michael Chandler as a person and as a fighter. He's super exciting. But he can't talk any shit going into the McGregor fight. Because anytime he does, McGregor's going to be like, you waited 2 years of your career, kid. Like, you waited 2 years for me. It's just... I don't think Chandler can do shit going into this fight. And I will always believe that Conor's going to have the leg over Chandler here. Even though Conor's the one that hasn't fought in 3 years. Like, I mean, granted, Chandler for 2 now. So, I mean, he's not much better. But, like, the fact that, like, McGregor has this power over Chandler, it fucking bothers me. I'm like, what the hell, bro? Like, anything you say or do in the build up to this fight, which is gonna be kicking off soon. You know, Dana's gonna do a whole little press tour for Conor McGregor. You know, or like if he does that, like Chandler can't say shit except this is gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. I'm happy you took it. And then all Connor's gonna do is just gonna get in his little head and be like, "You waited how long? You could have had this fight. You could have fought for the title again.
You could already be a #1 contender.
You could be #1 contender, but no, you wanted me.
You wanted the meal ticket.
It's just Connor is like invincible in this build-up. He has had so much power over Chandler, and it fucking bothers me how much power he does have over Chandler. But it's true, he does. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, man. Michael Chandler, what have you done? Now imagine Chandler gets smoked by McGregor, which could very much happen. Michael Chandler's done. I'm sorry. Like, I love you, Chandler. I would love to see you fight, even if you get smoked by McGregor. But, like, you're done at that point. You are a clown. Like, you waited this long to drop to this dude. And let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. Connor has the height and reach advantage going into this. And if time suggests anything, Connor's distance management is still one of the best attributes that he has. And what does distance management do for you when you have the reach advantage and you have the height advantage? It just favors you in the fight. Because then you could see the shorter man coming in for a takedown. And Connor has historically had very good success against stocky orthodox wrestlers. I mean, look at the Chad Mendes fight. Like that's the perfect example. Chad Mendes fights very similar to how Michael Chandler does. Like if Connor's anywhere where he used to be, which could very much be the case, it could very much not be the case. We just don't know. But like I'm not trying to say I'm not saying Connor's washed. Connor isn't washed. We don't know. Just Dustin Poirier is a very good boxer, and Khabib's Khabib. Okay, like Khabib was a terrible matchup for Connor, right? It's just he still took it and he had some success. Granted, he handed Khabib his first ever lost round. You know, and then on top of that, Dustin Poirier with his calf kicks and his jiu-jitsu and his high pressure boxing, that's tough for Connor. If Connor goes back to like how he used to fight, with the little wide stance and the distance management rather than being a pressure fighter and going back to being a counter striker, like he that's how he became a champion. He became a champion off of being a counter striker. All right, if he goes back to that, the way he beat Alvarez in like the best performance of his career, the way he beat Chad Mendes in his second best performance of his career, like Chandler's cooked. If he can go back to that, Chandler's cooked. And then what the fuck happens to Chandler after that? And then I get worried for him because I'd be like, oh, at that point, man, just take your check and run. I just retire. Be with your beautiful family. You're 38 years old, dog. Like, this could very much be your last fight if you lose. But Michael Chandler's Michael Chandler. He's probably going to still want to keep going, but he'll lose all credibility. 100%. Especially when you're going against the aura monster that is Conor McGregor. You know? It's just, oh, man. But if McGregor takes his pressure fighter approach that he took in the second Poirier fight, then Chandler's getting him. Chandler's going to beat him. He's going to find a way to get him. Like, Conor's not a pressure fighter. All right? Conor, I mean, he can put pressure on, but he's not a pressure fighter, if that makes complete and total sense. He kind of goes in there to bait you to throw a strike at him, then he'll just slip a little bit like this, and then just clip you over the top of the left. Like, it's just...
I'm wondering, though, if after the fight, what does Greggy do? Does he stick around, or?
I mean,
I've said this before.
Yeah.
Greggy, he doesn't show up for me. I prefer my fighters active and in the ring.
Oh, me too.
So, win or lose, if Greggy stays, that's up to Greggy to decide.
I mean, the argument that he's rich and doesn't need to fight is very much a valid one. But dude was rich and didn't have to fight when he fought Chad Mendes. You know, it's no mistake that Conor has money. Conor's had money. He made $100 million boxing Floyd Mayweather. And he still came back and fought Khabib. You know, he still came back and did the fights with Cerrone, with Dustin Poirier. You know, like, I think, yeah, the whole he's rich and doesn't need to fight argument. I don't know. I mean, it's always yes, it's truth, but like it's not Connor. Like he likes fighting, and the reason why he hasn't come back after all this time was because mostly the UFC has been up his ass about getting him a new contract, and he's like, "Nah, let me finish this one first, mate, and then I'll think about it." Right? That's why it's been a holdup. Because I mean, Anderson Silva. If you look back at that, when Anderson Silva broke his leg, very similarly to not Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor, all right, he came back in 11 months. Like it's just, I think the reason why he hasn't been back was because, well, he was acting. First off, Roadhouse did happen. That's what put him on the shelf for 2023. But 2022 he could have come back. Like I think it's negotiations with the UFC that the reason why Connor hasn't come back yet until, well, now, because I think because Connor's been adamant he wants to fight, like he wants to. And I mean, I'm not gonna say he's past his prime. I don't think he is. I think he's still very. I'm not of the notion that Connor's washed. It's just he's had some unfavorable matchups and then a freak injury.
Yeah, I was gonna
Huh?
say specifically regarding that, and specifically your words like it's not that he doesn't want to fight; it's that he's had unfavorable matchups. Like, wasn't he gonna shelve the Chandler fight even after the actual the UFC series ended? Didn't he want to go up and fight someone again?
Not that I heard of. I
'Cause I
mean,
thought he called someone out before he accepted this one.
before he accepted Chandler,
Yeah,
I mean, I can't really think of it. You could be right. I don't remember though.
because I remember you said like it was just before the heel promo. Wait, he said he wanted to fight someone else instead.
Yeah, I do remember saying something like, "Who did he call out?" I think he wanted to fight. Fuck. Who did he want to fight? Might have been Max again. But I think McGregor did that to get into Chandler's head to get more power over him. You know what I mean? I think he always was set on fighting Chandler. He just wanted to make it seem like he wasn't fighting Chandler so he can fuck with Chandler more. Knowing Conor McGregor and how troll-like he is, that's probably what happened. And he was fucking successful. Because then, as soon as he said, "I want to fight," I'll say it was Max. I don't think it was Max, but I'll just say Max for now.
Was it Diaz? Maybe he wanted a rematch.
Yeah, he wanted. I mean, he wants to do the
We don't know.
Diaz trilogy.
Regardless, he did call someone else out.
I mean, as it stands right now, on Connor's current UFC contract, he has two more fights. One is obviously being spent on the Chandler fight at the end of June, right? I think he said he wanted his last fight after Chandler to be against Diaz, you know? And Diaz wants that rematch too. I mean, they never got a trilogy. I mean, they're 1-1. They have not settled that score yet.
Plus money.
Plus money. You put Conor McGregor and not Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz on the same card headlining. Bro, that's gonna feed families, bro. That's gonna sell shit. Even though they're both old. Well, Diaz is old, but Conor's 35. I mean, he's getting up there. But he's getting up there. But he's the same age as Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier is fighting for a title. Same age as Gaethje, and Gaethje just fought.
Don't worry. Just like Aldo came back on pay per view, 330.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have 31.
31. You never know, man. It's just, I don't know, man. The fight with Connor and Chandler is so close on paper, even though I don't think it should be. But all things considered, it's close. And I honestly think Chandler's powerless here and has to win. Like, if he doesn't win this fight, dude, he's a clown. Like, honestly. I mean, not in my eyes, but, like, in the eyes of everybody else on the internet, and especially the Connor fans.
Yeah, in my own personal eyes too. I'm in agreement with you there. I think if he loses this fight, he has to fight down once, and then he can go right back up to a top 5 fight, if not twice. But I don't see him just being the laughing stock. He's Michael Chandler.
Yeah, I'm just saying. The Connor fan base, though,
Yeah.
they're gonna rip him a new ass.
Oh yeah.
Like, if Chandler sits out for 2 years to purposely fight McGregor, then man, I don't know. It's just, and then loses to McGregor. Dude, it's just, oh man, he's gonna lose a lot of credibility in the eyes of many.
I'm sure they'll have a nice, firm, happy, good match handshake afterwards.
It's just so bad. Fuck, man. It's just, it's crazy. But I gotta revert it back to UFC 301. We have veered so beyond it now, just so we could fill time in. Pantoja retained, all right, even though Urseg looked very good, all right. And Pantoja remains a fighting champion, which we love. And he continues his streak of exciting fights. That's up to 3 now. I mean, his fight with Moreno got fight of the year from me. His fight with Brandon Royval was incredible.
Send Figueroa down.
Send Figueiredo down again. That'd be a great fight. But I think Figueiredo's focused on the new division now.
He's fucking killing shit up there.
Then maybe when he wins that belt, he'll go back down.
It's flyweight. It's kind of a hard.
It's a dead division. There's not a lot going on there. There's not a lot. It's just because most of the people that UFC hire aren't that size, you know? Look at one championship. The flyweight division's fucking stacked. But, oh, fuck. Ooh. Yeah, that's the Mountain Dew talking back. Ooh. Love that shit. But, Pantoja, man, I don't know. He just continues to grow on me more and more every single time he fights. I mean, I fucking like this dude. I think he's fun to watch. But, like, man, what you think's next for Pantoja, though? You think he should wait for the hypothetical Kai Kara France and Urseg fight, and then that's his next contender? Or does he go for Amir Albazi when he comes back from the neck injury, or Alex Perez in a rematch?
Shit. That's a tough call, honestly.
Alex Perez is coming off a pretty emphatic win over Matthias Nicolau. A pretty good knockout. And, I mean, granted, he fought the week after 300. Obviously, he's can be ready to go by midsummer, end of the summer, like Pantoja, because Pantoja just fought now, and then depending on how his body heals. But Pantoja's an active champion, so he's going to keep fighting. And, honestly, Perez could be the number one contender right now, especially with Amir Albazi being out with that neck injury. I don't know when he's gonna. I mean, he got that neck injury back in January. I don't know how long it's gonna take for him to recover from that, but he's technically the number one contender, Mr. Albazi, but he's hurt. And his last fight was against Cara France when he won. Very, 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 very controversially, I think Cara France got fucking robbed in that fight, and I will die on that hill. But I'd say like Albazi's out. I think you either give him Perez if you want an immediate, like, who's available. But if not, wait for the UFC to book Urseg and Cara France. Let them tear the house down and then fight the winner of that fight. Because both of their stocks are going to be high to that point. You know? Both Pantoja and whomever wins that hypothetical fight.
I think by then, dude will be back from his neck injury, though.
That's true.
Because that fight hasn't been booked.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, man. The Flyweight's just a weird division right now. And then obviously Muhammad Makayev is not going to be fighting anytime soon either. He also sustained an injury. So you can't throw Makayev in there. You can either wait for Albazi to come back, take the match with Perez now, or just see what the UFC does.
So I don't want him to take the fight now. Dude should recover from that. That was a fucking.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying now, but
like I said, with the Kai France matchup, I think Neck Dude will be back by then. What?
It's just weird.
I know it's kind of repeating, but what's Moreno up to?
Moreno, he just lost to Brendan Royval. So he's off of 2 losses right now, Mr. Moreno. So he's not going to be back up there unless the stars align.
And Royval is...
Royval just came off of a win against Moreno, I think 2 months after his fight with Pantoja.
I want Royval then.
Again?
I do, yeah.
That'd be their 3rd time fighting each other.
Well, the thing is, it's because you just said that Royval won, right?
Yeah.
Now Royval championship material, obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at what he did last time he was out there.
You can definitely get that fight. You can get that hype. The Kai Kara of France, he still has to fight.
Yeah, he got to win something
The
before he
other
can get back up there.
The other dude's out with a neck injury right
Albazi.
now.
Yep.
This guy who just lost. How's it pronounced? Because I know I'm gonna get
Which
lost.
one?
The one who just lost.
To Perez?
Yeah.
Matthews Nicolau.
No, to Pantoja.
Pantoja. Urseg.
Urseg. Now he's got a fight to get back up there. He did look good. He looked great. So yeah, I'd say Royval, honestly.
Royval again. I mean, they did have a pretty good fight last time in December. Obviously, Pantoja did win that fight. And then, but Brandon Royval made a very quick turnaround after that. He fought Moreno, I think, yeah, like 2 months later.
You know, he just fought former champion. He won it, and you're really in a kind of stuck division with these injuries and whatnot, and you've got matches that need to be made beforehand with Urseg and Kaikara, neck injury guy. We don't know when he's coming back. So it's kind of like, picture it like this, a race line, right?
Yep.
And at the head of it, you got Pantoja, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, we love Moreno here.
Yeah.
We love Royval here.
Mm-hmm.
They are probably close to second place where their stocks are as far as going for championship.
Moreno's a little bit lower, assuming as he dropped one to Pantoja and then to...
Yeah, he's lost twice. But as far as names, value, and status in the division, they are very, very high.
Mm-hmm.
Now, besides them, probably very, very close to passing them, you got, well, not passing, but you got Kakara, France, and
Urseg, yep.
who both really good, both have appeal, both, especially now, they have a train following them. So they are right there too. Keep in mind, championships in the lead here. And then you got number one contender here. So as far as these three second place goes, you either give the Royval Marino winner, which was Royval. You have to wait for the Urseg and Kakara France to play out. Whenever that does, we don't even know when.
And you gotta wait for Amir Albazi as well.
Exactly. So whichever ones of those are closest to the champion, the next one, yeah. Unless there's some surprise upset hype train that starts bum rushing through it in the next few months.
Because then you know UFC is gonna push him to the moon.
Then there.
So, but it's just weird. It's up to. It's so odd, the flyweight division. Ever since the Moreno Figueiredo quadrilogy happened, it kind of held up that entire division. That's why there's such a bottleneck at the top. Because you had Moreno and Figueiredo fight each other so many damn times. And, I mean, you threw in Kai Kara France as well to fight for an interim belt against Moreno, but Kara France lost that fight. And then he hasn't won a fight after that, unfortunately. He got robbed, but then again, robbery doesn't really mean you won.
History's written by the victors, come on.
History's written by the victors, as you said. So, it's just such a fucking... I think that's why the division's so fucked up now. And then when Moreno finally wins the quadrilogy in his first defense, he loses to Pantoja. If Moreno won that fight, it'd be a lot more streamlined. But Moreno did not win that fight, unfortunately. And Pantoja won. And now Pantoja has been sent to clear out the rest of this fucking division. So, and because there's such a bottleneck at the top with a lot of people coming off of big wins, and then unfortunately the injuries that are plaguing the division right now, it seems, it just gets all bottlenecked at the top. You just don't know what to book next. I guess that's why we're not the matchmakers, though, right?
And just for the utmost clarification, why the Royval Marino is tied in second place before they can go up. I always want a champion to have a rematch that claim
the title back.
Well, Moreno lost to fucking Royval.
Not Royval. Yeah, he lost to Royval and Pantoja, yeah.
And then he lost to Royval, and that set him back 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
He would need a win I would honestly say 2 wins, one of the top 5, one of maybe top 10, before you can go after the championship again. But I do want to see a rematch because that's a champion that lost his belt to someone else. They deserve to have their chance at revenge.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but there's one problem with that. Moreno's lost to Pantoja 3 times
Yeah,
in his
every
entire
fucking
career.
time. I know
Like,
that.
like,
I know
that's
that.
what makes that matchup hard. Trust me, I'd love to see it. It's just Moreno's lost to
Every
Pantoja
fucking time.
every fucking time.
Every fucking
So
time. We know that. We went over that history when we went over the fucking Pantoja. We do know that. But that doesn't disclaim a champion getting their redemption shot at their belt.
very true. I
I
mean,
always love seeing that. I love an immediate, because that's a turnaround that's like, oh, you just got lucky that night.
mhm.
But I also like the come up story of, all right, I gotta prove myself that I am the best here, and this is how I'll do it.
Flyweight division's pretty fucking confusing right now, man. It's really fucking confusing. Like that's the most confusing division right now, next to heavyweight. Heavyweight's fucking the lowest and the heaviest weight are the ones that are the most unpredictable at this current moment. Because I mean, you got Johnny Bones Jones just sitting on his ass. I mean, he's back in the gym now. He's training. His pec is all good. He's ready to go. He's training. Like, and then you have Tom Aspinall holding the interim belt, which means basically fucking nothing to the UFC right now because Tom Aspinall's getting ducked like hella by John Jones. He's getting cooked at that fight. Like, it's right there. I got the interim belt. I knocked out this scary motherfucker that was knocking everybody else out. I get to face John Jones. No, I don't. No, I don't.
No.
John Jones wants to fight old man Stipe. Oh man, Stipe got. Oh no, Jones got hurt. Stipe fights off. Oh no, maybe he'll want me now. Nah, Johnny Bones Jones just looked at Alex Pereira and said, "I think that's a better fight." And I'm like, this dude made one title defense at light heavyweight. Let him beat everybody else before you send him up to heavyweight. God damn it, this is my problem with the double champ status. Fuck you, McGregor, for doing it. It's just. Oh, everybody's like, oh, you gotta throw Pereira into heavyweight. I'm like, no, no. He defended his belt. He won it against the former champ in Yuri Prochazka. He beat him, redeemed Glover Teixeira, right? And then he defends against the other former champ, Jamal Hill. Now that there's a streamline in the division, they're like, well, let's put him to heavyweight and cause more fucking corruption and more bottlenecking. I'm like, there's so many other things that you can do. Give him Jan Blachowicz again. Like, do that. There's so many other people. I mean, obviously, Rakic just lost. But I was going to say, there's Rakic there. And you got a bunch of other light heavyweights that are waiting to climb back up to the top. It's just. I have no doubt in my mind that Pereira remains the light heavyweight champ for a while. That's like without a doubt. But like, don't set it up to heavyweight now. And if you do, don't give him John Jones immediately. Give him Cyril Gahn. Give him Curtis Blades. Give him someone that's not John Jones. Because I want to see Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. Because that's an actual competitive fight. And John Jones doesn't want it because I think he thinks he'll lose. And God forbid if Johnny Bones Jones loses.
John Jones is about to get behind you.
Hi! It's just.
So yeah, no, we expected this. We knew this was gonna happen at some point on the podcast. This one has our guest feature, obviously.
It's just. I mean. Just give me the Aspinall fight, man. I don't care about old man Stipe. I mean, old man Stipe did well when he was the man, right? He's arguably the best heavyweight to do it, right? 3 title defenses across the board. He's easily the most dominant heavyweight champ there's ever been, which sucks because there's only been 3 title defenses and you're considered the greatest heavyweight. But that's just how heavyweight MMA works, man. Just everybody goes to sleep in one punch.
Although, we always root for D-Lou.
Oh yeah, we always want D-Lou. Oh, speaking of D-Lou, he's fighting this weekend, guys. Tomorrow night. Start time, main card, 7 p.m. Prelims start at 4. And, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to miss part of the prelims, probably. because work, and training. So,
But we will make reactions if there's any knockouts that we find.
to be honest, I'll probably click on the prelims as you're coming over, right? And I'll just fucking rewind it,
Yeah.
and then we'll just fast forward through the like 3 commercials that we just see on repeat the entire time.
Which I'm gonna go with.
I think it's
Burger
gonna be
King.
Burger King. I think it's gonna be
What
Allstate.
car you think they're doing?
I think that's gonna be Burger King, Allstate Insurance, and fuck it, I'm gonna say Ford this
Ford.
time.
All right, Ford.
So I think those are the 3 ads that we'll be seeing on repeat, with occasional cameo from Nationwide and potentially one from Walmart. So, but yeah, D-Lou is fighting. Let me see who he's fighting. I forget the dude's name. I know I'm not. I probably should know his name off the top of my head, but I don't.
Maybe we should put those in the second half notes there. We only have 2.5 page notes. We did this pretty much on the spot.
Basically. I mean, I see his last name. It's Nascimento, but what's your first name? Rodrigo Nascimento. Oh, Derek Lewis is the favorite for this fight. Okay. Derek Lewis is a slight favorite, minus 162, over the plus 136 underdog in Rodrigo Nascimento. Then we also have hometown boy fighting in his hometown, St. Louis, Missouri, right? This is where it's going down. We have Joaquin Buckley, back at it again, versus Nursultan Rizboev. I am totally butchered his name. I'm very sorry to this man. But he's Uzbekistani fighter, and it looks like Joaquin Buckley is a slight favorite over him, minus 135 favorite. To the plus 114 Uzbekistani underdog. And then we also have Alonzo Menafield and Carlos Ulberg. That's going to be a pretty good fight. I'm taking Ulberg for that fight. How about you?
Who are they again?
We have
Ulberg
Alonzo Menafield and Carlos Ulberg.
Ulberg.
Yeah.
I can't recall anything dynamic from the other guy's name, so I go Ulberg.
Let's go with the main event, though. Derek Lewis or Rodrigo Nascimento?
Oof. I'm hoping that...
I hope D-Lou.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm hoping that the favorite doesn't lie, and I got D-Lou for that.
But, man, I don't know. The home dog got ragdolled in his last fight. It was so bad. What kind of fighting style is Mr. fucking dude here? It doesn't tell me. Of course it doesn't. Fuck. I'm gonna say Derek Lewis though. I'm gonna hold on to hope here. I'm gonna say D-Lou gets the win.
D-Lou.
I'm gonna say D-Lou gets the win. I don't know if I'm a bet. I don't know if I'm gonna bet on it. I'm not really a betting man. I don't know, man.
I probably won't bet, but I'm also gonna say it goes to decision.
Really, a Derek Lewis fight that goes to decision?
I do, yes.
That's wild. There's got to be a money line just for that. Let's see. Joaquin Buckley versus Uzbekistani here. I'm not gonna try to pronounce the name again. I totally butchered it.
Both scary guys. I like them, but I'm gonna go with Uzbekistan.
Me too. I don't know if Buckley's gonna pull this one out.
I do like Buckley, but
I hope Buckley does it, but
they are on some other ish over there.
Alonzo Menafield, Carlos Ulberg. I think we both took Ulberg for that. And we have Diego Ferreira versus Mateusz Rebecki. I never doubt a Polish man when a Polish man is fighting. So give me Mateusz for this one. Not Mateusz Gamrot. Unfortunately, he's not fighting on this card. But Mateusz Rebecki, I will take him. He is the minus 500 favorite after all, and it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's a Polish power. It's Polish power, man.
He was just told that if you don't win this, we're getting invaded again.
And he does not want that to happen again. And let's see. We also have Alex Caceres versus Sean Woodson. I'm gonna take Caceres for this one, honestly.
I'm gonna go Woodson for this.
You gonna go Woodson? Yeah, I mean Alex Caceres' record does not look good at all, but he's been making up for it. I mean, yeah, he lost his last fight, but that's okay. That's okay. He's a fun fighter to watch. He's got some crazy kicks under him. I'm sure the man has done some taekwondo classes in his day. Let's see. We also have Waldo Cortez Acosta, our nice little Dominican, going up against a Cuban. Oh God.
Oh fuck?
Oh God.
Um,
The Cuban's name is Rebelis Despagne. Um, I love Waldo Cortez Acosta. I really do. I watched him on the Ultimate Fighter, not the Ultimate Fighter, Dana White Contender Series, and he was very impressive. But man, it's Cuba, bro. There's
yeah.
something in the water there. That's the same country that fucking Yoel Romero comes from. Okay, and Yoel Romero is not human. All right, he is not human. This man is 40 something years old, 45 years old, and he's still fighting at the highest level in PFL. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, should I say Bellator, formerly known as Bellator, now PFL. But I'm like, dude just fought for a fucking title in his last fight, and he did okay. And he lost, but he's not human, man. Yoel Romero's not human. I'm sure Fidel Castro ran some experiments on him back when Fidel Castro was alive, right? Because he's old enough to be of experimental age when Fidel Castro was around. Okay, so I think that's what happened. He
I'm
was
gonna say
made
it's in that
in a lab.
coffee.
I'm gonna say,
That Cuban coffee.
yeah. Let's see. Oh, we actually have a couple. We have Chase Hooper on this card. That's a name that we're familiar with. He's common on the fight nights, and he's fighting as Vyacheslav Borshev. Okay, give me the Russian. Okay, give me the Russian. Give me Borshev by brutal round one knockout. Oh Jesus. Oh, he's Jesus. And listen to that Vyacheslav Borshev. Oh, that's yeah. Give me him by brutal round one knockout. But we're gonna be riding the Hooper train.
Yep.
But he's not gonna win. He's gonna lose brutally. And we also have Terrence McKinney on this card. And Terrence McKinney's exciting to watch when he's not getting flying knee knocked out.
Who's fine?
He is fighting Esteban Rebofix from Argentina. I think I'll take Terrence McKinney.
Yeah, I'll take McKinney.
I'll take McKinney for this. Despite him being an underdog, I'll take him for this. I think McKinney's got some plot armor right now. Since that wicked knockout loss, and then he came back, got a knockout, came back again, got another knockout. I think the dude's on a mission, and he's very active, so I love that. So let's see. We have Tabitha Ritchie versus Tisha Pennington, or as y'all might formerly know her as Tisha Torres. She just recently married Raquel Pennington and took her last name. So, good on them. But good to see Tisha Pennington back in the octagon. She's a slight underdog against Tabitha Ritchie, but I will say I think Tisha's gonna do it.
I do too.
I think Tisha's gonna do it. And congratulations on the fucking marriage. And then anyway, we have Billy Ray Goff and Trey Waters. I don't know much about either of those
For
guys.
a second, I thought you were gonna say Cyrus. I'm like,
I know,
what?
like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, so we have Billy Ray Goff and Trey Waters. I don't know much about either of these guys, if I'm being honest with you, but I'm gonna take Trey Waters for this. Just, I picked the favorite. Just pick the favorite.
I got the favorite for that.
Yeah, that's Trey Waters.
I got Waters for that.
Alright, we have Charles Johnson, which I do know, and Jake Headley, which I also know. English versus America. American is the underdog, but fuck you, English! I'm coming for that ass! So, give me Charles Johnson for this one. I am going with the American on that. And then our first prelim of the night is JJ Aldrich is back in the octagon again. She is tough as nails. I don't know if you've watched her fight before, but every single fight that I've watched her in has been an absolute fucking banger. And it sucks that she's this low on the card. But I'm hoping that because she's starting the show off, it's going to be some fireworks.
I mean, they gave that to Figueroa when we saw that one.
And she's facing Veronica Hardy. But give me JJ Aldrich for this one, man.
I'll take JJ for this one.
Only a slight underdog at plus 114. But that's going to do it for this little speed run of this coming UFC fight night and a recap of 300, McGregor Chandler talk, the state of the lightweight division with Max Holloway now being in it.
And I'll break down why flyweight's so fucked.
Yeah, flyweight's so fucked right now. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm done. Get out of here.